everybody. Welcome to Signature Sales Meeting. I'm Chris Bishop, one of your fun family guys here at Signature Real Estate Group. I'm not going to say one of the corporate brokers because that's fun in this line. So we're back from San Diego. Who here has been to San Diego recently? Wow, okay, so that was my first time in 25 years. The last time I went, we went to the zoo when I was a kid, and this time we did the same thing. I took 2 hours of the time I was there. We went to the San Diego Zoo. What a racket. I tell you, we went and I paid $178 for 3 people to go in and have lunch. Because I had to pay to get in, right? But I thought the restaurant was outside of the zoo because why would they register you for something that paid for? Anyway, it was pretty cool. We got on the tram, we rode it around once, but the conference was absolutely fantastic. And I got to spend time with Tom and Janet and my mom and my wife and my daughter, and so it was a good time. And Brandon, yeah, he was there too. So next week, we're going to do an entire update of all of the new changes that are coming out as the industry from the conference, so make sure you tune in for that. But until then, we got a great sales meeting planned for you today. Our very own Todd Barton has put together an amazing ensemble, and so we'll jump into that in just a second. So before we do, does anyone have any wants and needs real estate-wise? Any new listings, any new buyer needs that we need to know about?
Everybody's just fat and happy.
Really? Like the biggest holiday weekend in real estate just happened and no one has a new listing?
What was the big?
Not one?
What was the big?
Veterans Day.
It's a big real estate?
Yeah, absolutely. Veterans Day and Memorial Day are two of the biggest holiday weekends for real estate. Didn't know that? Wow, okay, there you go. Adam, did you sell that condo?
No, he didn't.
He did! He sold the condo, look at his eyes!
So we have a single story in Southern Highlands with a casita, so it's 478-888, and it's beautiful. It's got 2 bedrooms inside, it's got a casita, it's single story, and it's in a great neighborhood. So if you guys have anybody that wants to live in Southern Highlands, give us a call.
2-car garage.
2-car garage.
2-car garage. 478-888.
That's right.
88.
That's a number for a law firm, I'm pretty sure. Anyone else have a listing they want to share with us?
Right now,
Your flip is your flip hit the market yet?
No.
Okay. So this is my last plea. I have that property up in Dyer, Nevada. We have dropped the price to an amazing $25,000 for almost 12 acres of land.
In the middle of nowhere.
It doesn't matter if it's in the middle. Las Vegas 70 years ago was in the middle of nowhere, and look what would have happened if you would have just taken their advice.
Mineral rights?
It has no mineral rights, but you can drill a well. You could probably bottle the water and sell it, but you'd have to get it up.
How far is it?
It's 3.5 hours as the bird flies.
So close. What about when the car flies?
Yeah, it's probably 260 miles from here. But it sits almost in California. Like you could wave to California and not have to go there.
I'd like to give you that.
I'll give it to you. You sell this one and you can have the whole commission.
I'll buy it.
Okay, you heard it here first. She's going to buy it. All right, so we have Myra with Prosperity that's going to share with us some information on Home is Possible. Give it up for Myra.
Hi everyone. So recently, Home is Possible just announced new income limits. So before maximum, and this is for FHA loans only, before maximum income that somebody can make is $105,000. Now, if there is 2 borrowers or more on one application, they can make up to $135,000. One of the borrowers doesn't have to work, but as long as they're both on the application, $135,000 max.
Wow.
So that's awesome. It's increased, so a lot more people can qualify. Let me know if you have any questions.
So the 135 can come from one person?
Yeah, it doesn't have, they don't both have to be working, it could just be one, but as long as there's 2 applicants. If it's one applicant, it still stays the same.
Very cool. Anyone have any questions for Myra? Give her a round of applause. Thank you. Okay, we have up Mr. Todd Barton. Todd, come on up.
Got his boot off.
He's got his boot off.
Had both boots on. All right, good morning. So come on up, guys. Everybody that I've reached out to, Jeff, Lisa, Rexlin, Roya.
Rexy.
And we have one other participant. She is en route. Carrie Lou will be here very shortly.
Right in the middle. You're going middle, out? Oh, we're stopping here, okay.
Are we missing
And there's
somebody?
somebody.
Well, I'm gonna say here, because I know Tom never gives a talk.
All right, sit on that. I think Tom chooses not to talk, actually. I don't think that's, sits over in a corner. All right, so anybody know what's common about these 4, soon-to-be 5 agents in the company?
They're all amazing people.
That's true.
Oh, yay.
That's 100%.
They're all beautiful.
Yes, they've all talked to me, that's good, that's a positive.
Like you?
Oh, I don't know about that. Let's not push the envelope today, okay? I don't know about that. So what, anybody have, just a guess, wild
Are we gonna
guess?
start coaching?
They're currently coaching.
We're coaching.
So yeah, so these are all agents that are in the coaching program,
Being coach.
being coached by different coaches in the company. And so we thought, last year at this time, we kind of did the same kind of office meeting with who was in coaching and what that could offer and what that could bring to the company and how people could look at that. So we thought we'd do it again this year. And so we brought a total of 5 different agents. Carrie's here. Hi, Carrie. Nice to see you. No, she had to be somewhere until 9:30, so she knew she'd be late. So we're going to start with, grab the mic. Anybody, first person, go ahead. Louisa. So first I want you to start with who you are, what office you're in, how long have you been in real estate, and who your coach is.
Okay. I'm Luisa. I'm here in the Southwest office. I've been in real estate for 4 years, and my coach is Chris.
I didn't know that was coming, did you?
Shameless one, Chris, shameless.
So my name is Roya Kavari. I've been in business for 20 years, and my coach is Brandon, and I'm in the Southwest office.
Yay.
Also 20 years in the business and you're coaching.
Just started.
Wow.
So this is another reason why I wanted to come.
Cool, yeah, we'll talk a little more about that.
Rexlyn Wahlberg. I've been in business 16 years in the Green Valley office, and my coach is Vandana.
So 16 years in the business and you're getting coached, that's something we'll talk about. Jeff?
My name's Jeff. 22 years. I'm in the Green Valley office. And Todd.
You sure?
He's fired. You are not renewing your contract. All right, so I thought it was interesting as I went through who I was going to invite to come sit, because there's other people that coach in the company as well. But I really wanted to see if we could be diverse in getting somebody. So I don't know if you noticed, but everybody has a different coach. Nobody's coached by the same agent up here, by the same coach. And so here's my first question. This is just going to be, you guys are allowed to say whatever you want. If you say something that's like not politically correct, I encourage that. That's something I think that we should be doing. So tell me, Roya, you're 20 years in the business. You are coaching with, Brandon is your coach.
Yes.
What caused you to even think about getting into coaching? I mean, if you've been doing something for 20 years, I would think that you're probably been doing it right.
Working pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, so what caused you to get into coaching? What even made you think about that?
Yes, so for us, it was, for me and my team, it was that we just kind of want to go to the next level. So I think a lot of people kind of get into business, they kind of get that consistent thing going, and, got it. And, they're bringing in money at a regular level, they're bringing it in consistently, but they need to go to the next level. And that's kind of where I needed some help, because I kind of got into the business for the same reason a lot of people did, where it's kind of the freedom, kind of doing whatever you want to do, but you still have to have a level of, so like I always say, with freedom comes a level of accountability, right? So you have to be accountable to somebody for something, and it just helps me to kind of have that, and it's been helpful for me, a great deal, actually.
Okay, good. We're going to talk about how it's helped your business, but let's continue the same question. Like, what caused, Lisa, 4 years?
4 years.
Okay, and so
Four years.
what caused you to get into coaching?
Same reason. My goal was, we get in the business, like we said, to start something new, right? And to start a business. And I was kind of just winging it the whole first 3.5 years, and I needed structure to make it a business, to make it a flourish business for my future and for it to run on its own. So my goal is to start a group. I want to get to that next level because it's just me right now, So I'm trying to get all these deals done and I don't have enough time, or I waste too much time or too much energy, and I needed some kind of structure, and I needed somebody that is very knowledgeable to tell me how to do those things.
How did you get Chris then? No, I'm just kidding.
How did I get Chris? He's a very good salesperson.
He can't sell that property and die to that, that's not what we're talking about.
Himself, so I was like, okay, let's do it.
No, Chris is super knowledgeable and a great coach. Great, so Rexlyn, what caused you to get back into, or to start coaching?
I started a team actually.
So 20 years?
Yes.
Okay, 20 years in the business?
Yeah.
So she started when she was 12, if you guys know. So you started a team?
I started a team this year, and so I just, I thought, well, I should be the best that I can be for my team that I'm going to be starting, so I thought I should be coached.
Okay, and so are you using the coaching program to help you coach your agents that you're going to be hiring? Is that kind of what you're thinking? Is that there'll be new people coming on your team and you need to be able to coach them, so you're
Well,
kind of doing the same thing?
yes, sort of. So I want to, like Ray said, go that next level. So I want to be the best that I can be, so that I can show by example, and then they can see how I do it. It's not just me telling them how to do things, but they can watch what I do
So
and grow. Yes, and
So
grow.
go through example of how you're doing it.
Yeah.
20
That's
20
a lot.
years? 20 years? 16.
16. Yeah.
So same as me, 16. So good, all right. So you're using coaching to get yourself to a level that you feel like you could add some people and they could watch what you're doing and get there. Good.
Yeah.
Jeff? 22 years.
22, yep, and ditto.
Ditto.
Sorry.
So let's see, I've been with, coaching with Todd a year and a half, and when I came to Todd, yes, my goal was that I also wanted to build a team, and I know myself, it kind of goes sideways, so anyways, wanted someone that was knowledgeable having a team, that has the, I'm going to say the systems or whatever, so basically I have copied what Todd is doing, and if I have team members
Because it
that
makes more money than me, I don't understand how.
if my team goes sideways, I'm trying to think of something clever, but if my team goes sideways and they won't listen to me, then I say, well, Todd says. But,
Broker said.
but I also like what was shared, it's like, I want to be able to be the best that I can be, so then I can be the best for my people and our team, I should say. And then one thing I always like to say is that, sure, I can give you a fish or a deal, or we can teach you how to fish, and then it'll be multiple deals. So that's kind of my come from. And then before coaching with you, I was actually with a different coach. So I've been under coaching for 4 years. And I'm going to say it again, the biggest thing I've learned about myself when it comes down to picking up the phone, or I got to go whatever it is, if I don't do it, then I know my coach will say, okay, well, last week you said we're going to do this and we didn't, so we're still going to do this, and we're going to still keep moving forward doing something else. So challenge, I like that part too.
Yeah, so one thing that all of you have said, just in different words, is some level of accountability. There's been some, I mean, but one of the reasons why you've got into coaching, why you're a part of it, is there's some level of accountability, right? Whether it's keeping you accountable, you mentioned some time blocking issues or things that you need to work on that were time blocking. So what's the one thing that you've learned from your coach? We'll start with Jeff and go back this way. What's the one thing that you've learned inside coaching that just never crossed your mind before, but it has had an impact on your business in a positive way? We'll start with you.
That has had an impact
Is just anything that you didn't do before in your business that now, because of coaching, you've started you've implemented this, you've started this, whatever it is, whether it's some type of accountability tool, some kind of, just anything that the coach has said, hey, look, this is something you should be thinking about as part of your business, or you should be doing as part of your business, and it's made a difference.
I would say the biggest thing is the CRM that I'm using now. It's just, wow.
Which one?
Using this here. Sierra Interactive. It just has a lot of tools, and so a lot of my business in the past was built on referrals, and another reason why I got into coaching I didn't mention is over the 22 years, 13 here in the Valley, a lot of my clients are moving out of town, so obviously they're not going to be a repeat client, so I kind of had to restructure there, and the Sierra system was just an awesome way to keep me on track as far as following up with my clients over there.
Okay, so that everyone's clear, you had a CRM that you're using before, or?
Yes.
I happen to know that it was multiple CRMs.
Yes.
And you really combined all those into one place, like a one-stop shop kind of CRM that your team now logs into on a daily basis, and that's how they quote-unquote run their business.
And that's a good way to put it, because yes, I did have multiple CRMs, one did this and one did this, now it's a one-stop shop. But I would say that's the biggest thing to help keep me organized.
Okay, so organization. Rexon, what's the one thing that Wanda has helped you implement in your business that's had a positive effect?
Oh, I never did pop buys. Not that I'm not a giving person or anything, but I never did that, and
Does everybody know what a pop buy is?
No, what's a pop buy? Food?
Yeah, so it's when you go, no.
Pop-Tart.
So
Popeye chicken sandwich?
a pop buy is just when you pop by someone's place, their house, their place of business, it's an unannounced visit. And I don't know if that's how she's running them, but a pop
and
by.
I announced it, but.
Okay. So you call ahead.
Hi, are you home? Yes, no, and I got actually a deal from it, a new listing. Oh yeah, new listing, guys, coming up soon.
So you just showed up one day and they went, oh yeah, I remember you, why don't you list my house?
Well, I sent them something, because they actually, second home here, so didn't live here, so
Okay.
I sent them something and they're like, oh, what's this? But yes, other people would be like, oh, this is new. Well, it's nice to see you again. And
So-
just on social media.
There you go.
I'm on your front door. Can you open the door, please? I have something for you.
So what's the purpose of your pop by? You're actually sharing something, it sounds like.
Yes, just something small, but yeah, to be top of mind. So as much as you think they think about you all the time, they don't. So you want to be, on their mind. And then when they think about real estate, or if they have an opportunity, or somebody that they know has a real estate opportunity, then they're going to refer you.
Cool.
So
And it's working.
it's working. So it's like another level of bugging them.
So it's just that next level you were talking about. You want to do something the next level and you found it. Good. Louis, so what's something that Chris has helped you implement recently that's a positive effect?
Well, he has helped me in valuing myself, my time, which for me was a big deal because I have two little babies. And so I'm like running around like a chicken with no head and like doing everything. And he made me realize that my time is very important and that I have to, set up systems every day so I don't waste so much time, right? And then I could give that time that I'm using or that time that I'm consuming in my work, it's valuable, right? And then also, he grills that to me every week that we talk, that, I have a value, that I shouldn't be charging so little, and that I should put more value into my job, because I do so much.
Cool. Yeah, so I think that's definitely, so I'll just say from a coach's perspective, that is actually one of the things that we probably battle the most is when agents get into coaching, we get to help them understand the value that they bring to the transaction, to their life in general. And so, it's something we get to work on quite a bit. Good, so it's had a positive effect.
But a very positive effect. I'm more organized now, and I am in the next step, I think, where my business runs in referrals, right? Personal referrals and sphere influence. So right now, I'm already creating that next step where I'm reaching out to the people that I don't know, with a CRM, with...
So you're hunting, as Chris calls it.
Yes, I'm starting to hunt. So now I feel comfortable enough that at least my business is running, so I can spend that valuable time into new business.
Cool. So creating a new pillar of business. Yeah, good. Roya, so something that Brandon's implemented in your business that has had a positive effect.
So we kind of went back to basics for us. I went back to door knocking, which was not fun, but it actually turned out to be pretty well. My fiance and I really love that. And so that we actually got a couple deals out of that, so that wasn't too bad. It was scary at first, but I strongly encourage you guys to do it. I went back to doing sales myself, so like calling and doing the hunting, the farming, picking the areas that we needed to go to, and then getting your numbers. So a lot of you have been in the business for a long time, and many of you know kind of what you're bringing in, but you don't actually know your numbers, or how much comes from listings, how much comes from buyers, how many are a sphere of influence, how many are actual cold calls that you're making. That actually really helps you a great deal in figuring out where to kind of concentrate on. So that was something that Brandon and I worked on as well.
Okay, so setting up some kind of,
Ditto.
go ahead, Louisa.
Know your numbers.
Know your numbers, okay. Yeah, so by the way, as a coach, we really can't help you if we don't know your numbers. Like, we don't know what you do on a day-to-day basis, and so if you can't provide us with some kind of numbers of maybe dials or calls or conversations or doors knocked and doors talked to and appointments set, we really have a hard time coaching at a level that will change your business.
And also, just a quick note, is the very first interview I had with Brandon, the very first thing we talked about was why. Like, what's your why? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to make more money? You're doing pretty well right now. Why do you need to go to the next level? What's your thing? What's your thing that you're going to kind of motivate you every morning to do the things that I'm going to try to help you with? And that's huge too, because if you don't put it on writing, you put it in writing, you don't know, you kind of think you know, but you don't. And
Yeah,
that's
so
important.
it's pretty common to talk about our big why, like why do we get out of bed every day, right? I mean, you have 2 young children, it sounds like. They drive you to get out of bed every day, right? I mean, you don't really have a choice there.
Well, they drive me crazy because they don't get up. Get up, we're late.
So you have the opposite problem. I've got a 5-year-old that lives with me, and he gets us up, you know, we try to sleep in, we're getting a little older, so it's nice to kind of sleep in on a Saturday once in a while, but it didn't happen at my house, so. All right, good, so you've had something positive happen. So when I contacted each of you and asked you to be up here today, what was your biggest fear? Like when I said, can you come and be, like what were you hoping I don't ask you?
My biggest fear was just being in front of people because I get super red.
Oh, no, you didn't.
So she wore a reddish kind of shirt, so you wouldn't be able to tell.
That's why I wear this shirt. But I just
You
want
were
to-
very quick to accept. Like you didn't say, oh, I don't know if I can do that, you just said, yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, because I want to feel less shy and share, you know, the good things that I felt of being coached. Everybody wants to succeed. Everybody wants to grow, have personal growth. I always strive to be better every time because I'm very competitive. But it's like when we go to the gym, we go and we train, or an athlete, you have to train and get better every day. If you don't train, you don't get better, so you have to be able to be trained, right? Or being able to be coached. If we don't get coached and see other people's perspective on your business, then how are you going to be better? You're going to stay stale in one place, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, so good point, right? If only I see my business and only I know what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, I'm going to get to a point where I can't change because I've done everything that's in my world to make a difference. It's called a ceiling, right? You get to a ceiling and you got to find a way to get past that ceiling. So if you have found yourself in the same spot for 2, 3, 4 years, you do the same number of deals, you make the same amount of money, you run into the same problems every year, you get to the same month of the year and your business kind of does the same thing. It's called a ceiling. I mean, you've used all of your energy to get to there and you just need someone to help you get past that. So coaching is good for that.
Yeah, because even your family members or your partners or whatever, they could make you accountable, or your bills make you accountable, but there's a certain part where you need somebody that knows a little bit more than you to teach you a better way of doing your business.
So I find that I don't know if it's that we know more than you do, we just have a different perspective. So can we get that over to Carrie there at the end? Thanks for coming, Carrie. I know. So Carrie had a meeting that ended at 9:30, so she got in her car and she broke all the speed limits to get here by 9:45.
I can do that.
You can do that, it's okay. So Carrie, we started with, what office are you in, who do you coach with? Wait, were there 4 questions total?
And what do you like, what was, whoever your coach is, taught you?
Yeah, who's your coach?
Oh, I'm in the Southwest office. This office coaches Alex. Never learned to say his last name. He's in Florida. Cynic.
Cynic? That's pretty easy. And how long in the business?
14 years in the business, and I've never made any for sale by owner calls until I coached with Coach Alex.
Okay, so that was our next question, is what's something that Alex has implemented into your business that's made a positive effect, had a positive effect on you?
Definitely the for sale by owners. I'm not afraid to call them, not afraid to make cold calls, took 2 for sale by owner listings as a result of Coach Alex, and time blocking. I've started to learn how to do that again and again.
Okay. All right. So tell us more about your for sale by owners. Like, what is it, what do you, I mean, you're not afraid to call them, but what does that look like in your business? How has that affected it positively, except you've taken 2 listings?
So the one-to-one coaching with Coach Alex started the journey of me calling for sale by owners. And then the group coaching on Wednesdays, I heard from Todd and Chris Bishop, which talked about how do you turn that for sale by owner call into building relationships. And I just brought a buyer with me every time I go to see a for sale by owner, because they're so sick and tired of us saying, well, we have a buyer for you, but we don't have any buyer that I'm bringing. So I'm always talking to them to say, I have a buyer. And whether it's this buyer for this house or I just have any buyer, I say, can you come with me? Let's go. And they are open, the for sale by owners are open to meeting with us and set the appointment. And it was actually a lot easier than I thought.
Okay, good. All right, so tell us a little more about Alex. So Alex coaches from afar, right? He does not live here. He lives in Florida. And how does that work? I mean, is there a challenge with the coaching just because it's mostly via Zoom?
We have our coaching session with Alex on Zoom. And Todd, you would have been my first choice as my coach. However, we have a relationship since I first started. You were my mentor. So I wanted to pick somebody who was going to be hard on me, that I'm going to be a little bit scared. I'm not really scared of Todd. I'm scared of Coach Alex.
So just to clear that up, so Carrie, Xiaoxin Carrie Lu, which by the way, 14 years ago was super hard for me to say. So we call her Carrie, she goes by Carrie. So she worked at Citibank. She was getting into the real estate business. She ran the entire credit card department, was always my perspective over there. So I thought she was really good with people. And then she got into business, and I'm going to say this, and I don't know, she probably will agree, but her biggest fear was that she didn't want to talk to people on the phone because they couldn't understand what she was saying. And I was like, I don't get that at all. So let's get past that, right? So we did a little coaching, mentoring early on in your career, and then you kind of went on and moved to a different company, and then I moved companies, and now we kind of got back together. And she came to me and she said, so I want to get into coaching and I want you to be my coach. And I was like, well, wait, that's probably not a good idea because we already know each other pretty well, and we need to figure out. So go talk to Brandon and figure out who's going to be that person for you. So I think that's a key part of coaching is you got to find a coach. You just heard her say she's not really scared of Todd anymore. That is kind of a component of coaching. You need to have, your coach needs to be somebody that, not that you fear, but maybe that you respect at a level that you wouldn't want to let them down. Right? Like think of it like at your parents' level maybe, like you respect them enough that even if what they're asking you to do doesn't really fit into what you're probably going to go do that. I'll give you a quick example. I've been married for 26 years. We have a huge family in Las Vegas, and I've never had Thanksgiving at my house. It's just not something that we do. We do go to my mother's house, and she has a nice big house, and everybody fits there well. It's all good. Guess where Thanksgiving is at my house? It's at my house this year. The first time in 26 years, right? Because my mother came to me and said, I have a legitimate reason why I can't do it at my house this year. Like she always had reasons, let's be clear. Like she had excuses why we should do it at my house and not hers. And I'd be like, Mom, that's BS. We're doing it at your house. It's where we always do it. We'll just do it there, right? This year she has a legitimate excuse. So I respect my mom enough to go, okay, I guess we'll do it at my house. Lots of stress at my house over this, by the way, but it's okay. We'll get past this, right? So coaching is a lot the same. You got to have a coach that you kind of look up to, that you respect, that you feel like could hold you accountable to whatever they need you to do or ask you to do, or whatever you commit to them that you're going to do. That makes sense. All right, so Carrie, one other thing was when I asked everybody to join or to be in this panel, what were you afraid of? Like, what was your first thought? Like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that, or were you afraid of being on the panel?
No.
No?
You asked me a question and I said yes. That's always the right answer. I don't think much these days. I just do it. It's not much to think about and it's too much stress in life already. I don't usually worry too much. I was like, oh, I can wing it. I'll just, whatever the topic is. And I asked Todd later on what the topic is going to be.
Yeah, and what did I say? And then what did you do about that?
I said, okay, I have a list for you.
So she immediately started writing things down. That's how Carrie operates, by the way. And so I asked her for that list of things that she wrote down, just because I was curious to see kind of what was on her, like when she thought about coaching and sharing with other people, what was she really thinking about? And it was pretty insightful, if I might say. I'm not going to share it, but I thought it was cool that she actually was willing to send it to me. All right, so let's go. What do you hope that coaching brings in the future? What does next year look like? How are you using coaching as a crutch, or how are you looking at 2022, and how are you using your coaching to set that up or to help set those goals? Rexlyn, you got to leave a little early, right?
Yeah.
So let's get with you first.
I was gonna
She has a listing
My
appointment.
fear.
She has a listing appointment. What is your fear?
Oh, no, because you were saying like, what was, when you asked me, my only thing was like, oh, sorry. My only thing was, I just got a cancellation, and then I just double-ended my cancellation, so I need to make my appointment, and it cannot be late. So
Yeah.
that's why I kept looking.
Yeah,
Not
cool.
being rude, looking at my watch.
So just so everybody knows, she has to leave early, she has a listing appointment. That's totally fine.
No, I already got it. I got
Oh.
the wire to my listing. Yeah.
So she has an appointment, I'm not sure what it's for, but she has to leave early for it.
I have to meet my
Got it.
house.
So what's the future look like? 2022 is coming, how will you use your coaching? Have you talked to your coach about what 2022 should look like, or have you started that
Yes.
planning?
Yeah, so like Lori had said, knowing your numbers, I didn't track it like I should.
Will you
before.
share how you're tracking it now?
She has
what does that
a
look like?
spreadsheet that
Okay.
she had shared with me, so I just input things in there. So there's, you put in the address, the buyers and sellers, like if there's a loan, who the mortgage company is, how much you spent on that client for gifts, that, I
Okay,
never
so
really track any of those.
so
before.
this tracking is closed deal tracking.
Yes,
So you're tracking a transaction that closed, how much commissions you made from it, what your cost of sales was, or what it cost you to get that commission.
and all the fees and everything like that. So, yeah, tracking those and then just beating my numbers from last year. That's my goal for next year.
Okay,
Which
so
is pretty close.
2022, your goal for next year is to, you said beat your number.
To do more, and then also next year I will implement, because my team, my one person that I have on my team right now, so hopefully I'll have her numbers in there and it will look so much better.
So is it more closed transactions?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so your goal for 2022 is to close more transactions than you did this year
yes,
by adding Agnes, which is the agent on her team,
yes,
and trying to leverage somebody else in the business with you who watches you, mentors from you, and you probably coach a little bit
yes,
through Vonda, right?
yes.
Okay,
I do.
good.
Yep, so
Good.
and then more clientele, because I do get a lot, like you said, a lot of referrals, so a lot of my business comes from referrals, so I'd like to get something from just a stranger, would be nice.
Okay, so you're developing another pillar in your business. You're looking
Yeah.
for another way that you can actually generate business that isn't sphere of influence related.
Yeah,
Good, cool.
which way do I go?
It's your choice.
You like talking.
She actually doesn't. She's nervous, so she's
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for coming by. Oh, good, I can sit on the end now. No, I'm kidding. So Jeff, tell us about, like, what have we done that's kind of propelled into 2022? What does that look like? What are some things that you're changing? Have you done anything for 2022 based on coaching? Apparently not.
One thing that came to mind that one of my goals was to have 5 team members, and that goal has been accomplished. Another one.
You all can raise your hands. They're all here today.
Yay.
Another one was after our gala. That's when I first met Todd, and one time he said, "Hey, you know, I want X amount of dollars." He said, "No, we're going to actually double that amount." And that's kind of cool is that actually that has happened. And once again, I am going to say yes, it's because of coaching, and it's not like I'm really doing a whole lot different. I'm just more focused, and so hats off.
A little more accountable.
Yeah.
I mean, you have long pants on today. That's all I'm saying.
I'm from California, so I'm a shorts and kind of guy. But yeah, teacher. One thing though that Mr. Bishop said way over there, one of our coach calls, and he was asking what our goals are and this and that. And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to have so many team members on my team." And he said, "Okay, producing team members." So that is one thing that I've actually learned in this process. There's a difference between having a team and there's a difference of having a producing team. I'm going to say I'm thankful for my team. I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. And it's funny is when we first opened up Green Valley office, so I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, is that the team that was there, I don't even know if anybody's here, but anyways, one of the things I shared back then was, you know what, I want to be able to build a team, because doing this for 22 years is kind of, getting in the car and showing property when it's 124, it's like, yeah, I kind of want to be able to diversify a little bit more. And what's cool is, yes, it may have taken a while to get there for myself. I'm one of those that needs to learn from experience as opposed to doing what I'm told. But anyways, it's cool to be able to look back now where I'm at and where I was, and it kind of goes back to the 20 years of management experience. I just actually really, I'm going to use a word, I'm going to say I really actually love being able to pour into other people.
Cool. So you've kind of fallen in love with the whole coaching on the giving side as well. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So to be clear, your goal for this year, for 2021, was to double your income from 19, I believe. Because we met in 2020
Yes.
at the gala
Yes.
from 19, right? That would have been the award ceremony from 2019.
Yes.
Good. And that's happened.
Yes.
Good. I didn't know that.
Yay.
You're tracking your numbers. Good, Lisa. So what's the plan for 2022, and what have you and Chris talked about that's going to change your business?
The plan for 2022, which we need to talk today about, is setting up like a map. That's the idea I have, like a map for the year. Like set up goals for like every quarter or something like that. Now that we know my numbers a little bit more, where they come from, and where do I need to invest more time. So my numbers grow, obviously.
Okay, so it's an interesting point. So you just said that now that you know your numbers, you know where you should spend more time.
Yes.
Because you can double down on the things you've been successful at, right?
Yes.
Like one thing there's certain parts of this business I'm not super successful at personally, and there's parts that are more successful. And so because of that, because I know my numbers, I know where to double down. I know where to spend more of my time. So that's probably a good part of coaching, is you've learned where you can spend more of your time to be more successful.
Yes, because for example, at the beginning of 2021, I had no idea how many deals I was going to close, and I had no idea how many deals I closed the previous year before that. And only the leadership quarter things will tell me, oh, I'm up there, I'm somewhere there, and that's pretty cool. But I wouldn't really know where am I doing the right thing, where am I going. Like, where am I gonna grow more? Because that's the goal, is to grow more. And obviously, my husband now, my husband now, he also got licensed, so part of that is also train him through and have that help, because there is so much work you could do by yourself, right?
Sure.
So also rely that work a little bit more on somebody else that supports you. And maybe start a team, or start something.
All right, so that'll all be part of your roadmap that you're going to put together, sounds like today. Good luck, Chris. Royo, tell us about 2022. Like, what does that look like for you? What have you and your coach specifically talked about?
So we specifically talked about doubling the numbers for 2022. So we're on track to kind of get there, because I started my year, if you will, when I started coaching. So like my numbers are kind of coming in that way. That's how I do it.
So the plan is to double
When I started my
the year
coaching.
from
Yeah.
the day you started coaching.
Correct.
So the year behind you,
Correct.
take those numbers and double
Yeah,
those.
because I
for the year.
transferred from a different brokerage, so the first 3 or 4 months, I was still bringing numbers in over there, and they all counted over there at the other brokerage. So those numbers didn't transfer over, so we started from the day I started coaching. And then we went, so we're gonna go for the whole year, so we're gonna double our numbers, so we are gonna do that. And then we're going to add on to the team, and for producing agents. I love my team members, they're awesome. I've been with them, they're very loyal, and they've been with me for a long time. So we're gonna add some more talent to that group. And we also have a commercial aspect, so I wanna add on one more person for commercial. And that's it.
So you have a plan?
I have a plan.
Like
I
you're a
do.
coach and you have figured out what that plan looks like for 2022? You seem pretty happy about it.
I am,
Good.
because I have a plan.
Yeah. Have you, so let me ask, have you always had a plan?
No,
Like
no.
every year moving forward in your business
No.
before coaching, did you ever have a plan?
No. I can,
Yeah, I think
all of us
that's
would say no.
That's the common theme probably, is we all just kind of shoot from the hip, do what we can do, get done what we can get done. You know, we're busy, right? I'm a busy agent, I'm busy, I'm showing houses, I'm doing all the right things, but come to find out, there's lots of times when we're busy doing the wrong stuff. And you need somebody with that little bit of a different perspective to look at what you're doing, how you're doing it, and figure out whether you should be changing that or doubling down on that, right? That's really the only two options on the activities that you do as an agent in growing a business, is you've either got to double down on what you're doing. Does everybody understand what that means, double down? Like, you got to do it more. You got to do it twice as much or 3 times as much as you've been doing it in the past, because it's working and you're good at it, right? And, or you have to stop doing what you're doing because there's having zero effect on you. I shared a quick story, carry that. I shared a quick story, I think, in a meeting recently of an agent that I coached, and she in a 24-month period of her main lead gen activity that she did every single day for 2 hours, 5 days a week, every single week, like clockwork. She only did 2 deals in a 24-month period from that activity. So we eliminated that activity and had her do more of what she had done, which had caused success. She did more business in the first quarter of the next year than she had done in the last 24 months.
What was it that she was doing
For sub-owners that expired,
originally?
was what she was doing, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week for sub-owners and expireds. And she's not here, so I can say this, she knows this, I told her straight to her face, she sucked at it. Like, she was no good on the phone, she didn't sound good, nobody wanted to talk to her, she was mad about it every day, she just didn't sound good. And I just said, look, you gotta stop that. So I had her do an activity to find out where her business had come from, and we found out it was from networking. She had done more business from networking than she had from first sub-owners and expireds. And I said, that's it, you're not allowed to come to the office anymore. I know that you rent that desk over there, and if I ever see you sitting at it, we're done. Literally, I had to be like this strict with her, and she literally did more business, more gross commission income in the first 3 months of the next year than she had in the 24 months prior. Solely from finding the activity that she did best. She didn't see it though. She couldn't see that it wasn't working. She just knew someone told her that's what she needed to be doing, and so she just did it. But when she got good at networking, man, her business really took off. Carrie.
And Tal, you said something to us during group coaching on Wednesday mornings that you said, well, you guys did not get into the coaching program to do 1, 2 more transactions. And I believe the minimum expectation for all of us in coaching is to double your income, if not triple your income. And then we just have to figure out a plan to do it. One of the benefits in coaching that I find, just for me personally, is not just about the business. I mean, I see my coach Alex, he's always laughing with his wife, and he's always having fun on a boat. And he's 70 or 71 years old. I mean, he should be retired, but he's still working and making calls and closing, God knows, 100 deals a year. And I was in a position where I had no desire to make more money because I had a failed relationship for 10 years. And I was like, well, if I'm making money and I don't have a great relationship, I'm not really happy, so what's the point? Like, I have to find my reason for doing it. So I went on Match.com early this year, and I find that dating is the same as setting an appointment for real estate. It's like, okay, I mean, the next guy doesn't want to date you, fine, move on to the next guy, set up a coffee date, whatever. And I had like three guys that blocked me because of something I said, and I'm like, okay, that's okay. And the same thing in real estate. Like, if they don't like you, fine, just move on to the next one. And I just swipe left, swipe left, and it's okay.
Between Match.com.
That would be the best real estate
And on that, we're done.
But I do think that business and life has to have balance, and I'm in a new relationship now because I applied the rules from Match. Yes, I'm no longer on Match. I'm in a monogamous relationship with one person. I just want to share that.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, that's very insightful. I had no idea that was coming. So hey, if somebody doesn't want to date you, don't be offended, just move on. If someone doesn't want you to set an appointment with them, don't be offended, just move on. It's as simple as that, right? Yeah, so I think it's really clear, right? Like, we're going to match up with people that we have the same personality types with, and so it definitely. So any questions, anybody have any questions about coaching or dating or, I mean, it's wide open now. Do you need your car fixed? What do you got out there? Chris?
Just have them explain a little bit about what their coaching process is with their coach, like how it all goes. Like, because we're all a little bit different. We don't coach from a book. We all coach from experiences. So share a little bit about what that coaching experience is like.
Yeah. So what is a weekly coach? What does that look like? Carrie just mentioned that hers is on Zoom. So what does it look like? What is your experience like?
We do have a group coaching once a week, and then we have a one-on-one. And the cool thing about being in the same office is, yes, I have my set time with Todd, but if I have any questions, he's a couple steps down the hall, or a text, or you can ask him. I'm always bugging him. Hey, dude, what if? One thing I do want to say, though, about my team is talk about the wonderful, awesome agents on my team, but I also get to work with my beautiful wife there as part of our team. And
did you see how he took that question and turned it into it?
Nice job.
yes. And then also have
Now we're talking about marriage counseling. That's on the table for sure.
relationships were brought up. And then also want to give a shout out to Monica as our admin, and also Teresa, who's also on her.
Yeah, so your team has grown more than just agents. Your team has grown by also adding some admin people, right?
Yep.
So yours has kind of gone full circle. So for Jeff and I, we meet once a week face-to-face. We have an hour time set up Thursdays from 8:30 to 9:30. He misses once in a while, I miss once in a while, we come in late, but we make it happen at some point, right? And then we have a lot of communication during the week when Jeff needs to communicate about something, whether it's walking into my office or sending me a text or sending me an email. Yeah, is that kind of how it goes with us?
Yes.
Okay. Carrie, do you have more to tell us about Alex? I mean, it's all just basically swipe right, swipe left.
Next.
We meet with Chris for half an hour every Tuesday through Zoom, because I usually am not in office. Through the app.
Okay, so you guys use the app?
Yeah, we use the app. We talk about, the beginning is always what's the positives of your week, what's the negatives of your week, and then we go from there. And then he gives me homework. And sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. And, but because I forgot or because I was like, I don't know what to do. Or he had homework and he didn't give it to me. So we're gonna start early today.
I like it. The coachee is holding the coach account. Roy, what does your coaching look like with Brandon?
So Brandon and I are pretty similar. We have every Monday for half an hour we meet and Zoom. It's on the app, so it's all pre-recorded, so you can kind of look to see what you said last week, what things you needed to bring, what things you needed to have answered. And then we kind of do that. I'm kind of controlling, so at the very beginning, I'm the one that comes out with all the questions, and then he just answers everything, and then at the very end, we come up with a plan for the next week of what we need to do. But I really love the group coaching on Wednesday mornings. All of us are in the group with all of the coaches, and there's always a topic, so a different broker will talk, a different coach will talk about what's going on. And the nice thing is that you get a different view on some of the things that are affecting your business and different answers and different things that you kind of say, oh, you know, we want to grow our business and we want to grow our team. Oh, this person does too. So what are they doing different? You know, finding realtors that are not actual realtors, maybe people that are outside of the real estate arena, which is one of the things we talked about the last coaching session. So I like the different ideas like that. So that's kind of how Brandon and I work together. And then he's always available. And actually the app really helps a lot too. So if you guys ever have questions for anything, that app really works really well to get those questions answered quickly.
Yeah, set up a broker conversation in the app, and it's pretty easy to get answers there. So everybody does it a little bit different, kind of the same, right? I mean, there's an appointment once a week, and then we do have so every Wednesday morning at 9, we all jump into the app. It's a big group, kind of a mastermind conversation. Somebody leads that conversation, and then agents are able to share their needs or their wants or things that they need to hear about or things they want to learn about. Like the one you just mentioned was last week's call of how do we find more team members, and my philosophy was look outside the real estate business, look at other people looking to make career changes based on the world situation going on out there. All right, any other questions?
I have them.
Yes, Ann?
How do you get started in finding a coach? Like, what's your next step if you wanted to get a coach? What do you do?
So I'll take that one really quick. So I actually talked to another young lady here. We were talking about the same thing, and she's not here right now, but last week. So I personally found somebody that, you know, you kind of look up to, kind of the respect, but also personality-wise too. I don't know, I couldn't be with someone who's exactly like me because I don't think we'd get too far. So we have to kind of do like a yin and a yang, right? So you want to kind of have somebody that's a little opposite than you, that's good at something that you're trying to be better at. So if you like each person, you guys know because you guys have seen the brokers up there. You see what they're like.
Yeah, we're all
so
different.
And you're all so different. So if you need like numbers, you know, there's one person that's good for it. If you need to be kind of kept, you know, kind of in track of all your paperwork and everything that's going on, you're some persons who are really good with networking, socializing, and I'm pointing at the people, right? And so, you know, you can kind of figure out who those people are. And then all you need to do is either through the app or just go and say, hey, do you have 5 minutes? I want to talk to you really quick. And then see if it's a synergy, see if there's a good synergy for you. For me, it was immediate, so I'm sure that, you know, everybody has their own experiences. Or not. Or Jeff, no?
No, it's
Same.
good.
Well, Jeff and I met at I was brand new to the company, right? I'd only been here for
Brandon.
2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and we met at the valet line at where were we at? Panorama Towers?
Yes.
And he was looking at a certificate, and I said, oh, that's pretty good. He said, yeah, I hope to do it again next year. And I said, no, we got to double that next year.
To beat it, yeah, double
Yeah,
that.
cool. So to find a coach, you need, first you have to raise your hand and go, hey, I'm thinking about getting coached, right? And I think we can share mine and Carrie's experience. Like Carrie came to me and said, hey, I want to get coached. And I was like, okay, I hear you, and I agree that you should get coached. But it's probably not going to be with me because of our past relationship, our past person. I mean, we already kind of knew the good and the bad about both of us, right? So that wasn't going to work. So if you want to get in, I would tell you to go talk to your broker. Mostly, I think all of the brokers coach, am I right? That's all the brokers are coaches. And then we have Alex also that coaches, which is out of Florida. He's a little bit more like my personality type, a little more stringent, a little more numbers based.
We have a total of 8 coaches, and we even have a coach
Utah that coaches based on mindset. She's a, who's the guy who walks on poles?
Yeah, that guy with no shoes.
Tony Robbins' coach. And so she's also in our program that can coach with you. Here's the cool thing about it. I've been through almost every coaching program that's out there. And what happens is you sign a contract, you get stuck in something, and then you can't leave, right? Our coaching program is versatile. So if you get in with me and you're like, Chris is great, this is awesome. And then 3 months later, you're like, what did I do? You have the ability to migrate in the coaching to the coach that you may connect with. And that's how we made it. We made it versatile. We want you to be in the program, but it doesn't mean you have to stick with a certain coach. Now, if you're just jumping around to every coach every week, we know there's a problem. It may not be us. But the whole idea with it is it does have that versatility because that's how you are as people. You're moving through the processes. The other thing I want to say is that everyone who's in our program has had some form of growth, not necessarily income. Because sometimes the problem isn't the money, it's the person, right? It's your outlook, your mindset, your perspective, and that has to change for you to have growth. And so I think that I've seen pretty much everyone come through this program get something great out of it that they took with them. And that's really what, what propels a producer is that you take pieces of things that you learn, like that horrible deal that you thought would never end, that was a learning experience, right? And so I think that's what I've seen from all of them in the program.
Yeah, so I'm going to speak a little bit about some of your fears because I had them too. So one of the biggest one is obviously how much does it cost? Like what is the cost going to be? How much am I going to make? Can I afford it? You can. You'll double or triple your numbers, and if nothing else, you're going to double your business, triple your business, and it's only a little portion. And it's for, I don't know if I can even talk about that part, but, okay, so basically I think everybody's the same, and it's 10%. It's 10% of each one of your sales up to $12,000. They don't do it for the entire year, they do it only up to $12,000. And then after that, you're done, and you're still getting coached. And
you're done paying, but you still get coached for the whole year. Yeah, so like Jeff, you're gonna meet your dollar obligation in December is based on the numbers I've been looking at. I think you're going to get there, but we'll coach all the way through July, right? Yep. Maybe not, based on the look on his face. Maybe there's something I don't know, but yeah. So it's 10% of your GCI off of whatever deals that you do, and then it caps at 12,000. And so if you reach 12,000 in the first 3 months, then you're still coaching for the rest of the year. You're just not paying the money anymore. And if you don't make the 12,000 in the year, then you need to move around in the coaching program because you and your coach didn't click, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that if you don't get there, then we probably need to help you look at another coach or another situation that might work better for you. But you don't pay the difference either. Like there's no balloon payment at the end, right?
I showed your house on a Saturday.
I'm here to get my money.
I think the biggest thing, and Chris touched on it, is there is not a contract. Because I had mentioned that I was in a different coaching program prior, and yeah, it was a contract.
Well, we do have a contract, you signed it.
It's pretty flexible.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But it
can,
allows you versatility in the contract. You have to sign a contract that's for a year.
Right.
yeah, there has to be a contract because there's money in it. Yeah.
Is that what they signed?
And the auto renews, I didn't know.
Auto renews.
Yeah. All right, Adam, did I hear you say you had a question?
No, she answered it.
Okay, any other questions, or just a couple minutes here, I can answer any other questions, if not. Look, you guys, one of my big things is numbers, right? You guys hear me talk about that quite a bit. And the other one is probably coaching. I think it's, I think if you want to be more successful than you are today, I'm not saying that you're not successful. Maybe you've reached every goal that you've set, you're doing as much business as you want to do, and that's fine. That's what really cool thing about the real estate business is you can really do anything you want inside this business. If you're at a place where you're like, I'd like to do some more, and I'm not really sure how to do that, you should at least sit down with a coach, have a consultation, talk about what that's going to look like, see what they see about your business, and see if it will work out. And I think if we were all being coached, we would all just be better at what we do. Carrie and then Chris.
Yeah, I just need to make a closing announcement.
Real quick, I have to share this as part of the coaching experience for me was, certainly didn't expect it, but I got COVID in July, and Trish, who's in our coaching program, she offered to drop food off at my house. And this is not something you typically do for people. She barely even knew me. And anybody who knows Trish, she goes above and beyond for her clients, but she also goes above and beyond for, you know, people. We're in a relationship business, yes, but we're also in relationships with each other, and I'm just really grateful. I mean, I was really sick, and I didn't need her to come to my house. I didn't want her to drop food off. But now if I'm hungry, I'll just call Trish and say, hey, can you drop food off my front door?
Cool.
That's the amazing bonus.
All right, well, if you want to grow your business, reach out to one of your brokers, to one of the coaches, anybody that you feel like you might click with, and let's at least have a conversation around it and see if we can make your 2022 a touch better than 2021. If not, twice as good. Hey, tomorrow here at the office, this office is our potluck, Thanksgiving potluck. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Sorry. So Tom, I don't know if everybody noticed, Tommy Sandberg against the wall, just inducted into the
Hall of Fame. Yeah.
for realtors.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah, congratulations. And so the potluck is tomorrow from 11 to 1
He has all the information.
here at this office. So does everybody know what potluck means?
Bring food.
That means when you show up, you're carrying food of some
Lucky not to
sort.
get food poisoning.
All right, so, yeah, come and enjoy that. Anything else, Chris?
Let's give it up for Todd and this wonderful panel. If that would have hit me, it would have been the best video so far this year. I just want to say one more thing based on this, is that no one gets into coaching as a mishap, right? It's purposeful thought that you're like, you know, something isn't right in my business. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and hoping for different results. Funny enough, 17,000 people in our marketplace every year are insane. And most of them are realtors because they just do the same things with the same results and no production. And so Brandon and I said it 3 sales meetings ago. We will commit to offering 1 free coaching session for anyone that wants to try out and see what coaching is actually like. So if that's something that you would like to kind of demo and see, please let us know. Just reach out to us in the app and we will provide you with that coaching session to see if it's right for you, if it's right for your business. So give it up again for this great panel and thank you guys. Janet, anything else? Nope, she said no, we're all good. Guys, have a great week. Thank you so much for being here.